I've got my lovely van back after what turned into quite the saga with the AdBlue light, but thankfully it's all fixed now, and I want to add something new to the van, which, if it goes anything like it did last time, could be an interesting process. But having done that first trip, it became clear to me that there wasn't enough storage for sort of bits and pieces, and perhaps also for books. So I bought myself these, which are little pockets that I can attach, and that is going to be the interesting bit, to the side of the van. I'm thinking already I probably will need to get some Velcro or something to make sure the bottom's secure, which of course I don't already have. But I'm thinking about putting them on the sides, but on the side above the sink. And then I can just slip little bits and bobs in, because it did get quite messy quite quickly in here last time, even though I don't actually even have that much stuff in here, which is just the nature of it being a small space, of course. So I've got 2 of those bad boys, and I want to get them put up today. Actually, hang on. I've got this museum tape, which is super, super sticky, and which is what I used to stick the shelf down that holds my coffee and tea. So that could work. And I've also got, I really like these, they're just cup hooks. So it begins. They're just cup hooks, but I don't know if you can see, they're kind of a really nice bronzy colour, which I think goes really well with the general interior aesthetic. So my thinking was that I would screw a couple of those into the ply for each one, and then it could hang like that, and then just attach the bottom so it doesn't swing about. So in my usual style, very ad hoc, very unplanned, very, I don't know if this will work at all, but I'm just going to try it. And I thought you might like to watch me attempt this little tiny feat of decoration. So, okay, I haven't thought this through. I don't know how I'm going to attach these. There's substantial ply behind this carpet, so I know that I can just screw in the cup hooks and they will hold. So I think probably they will just go, you can see that, they'll go like that. I think that could be nice. The pockets did come with these hooks and a bit of rope, which is quite nice, but the hooks are meant to stick on something, you know, that they will actually stick to, which I don't think they're going to be sticking to the carpet. So, plus they're kind of tacky looking, I don't know. So I think I'm just going to not use that and just hook them onto the dowel like so. At this point, of course, anyone sensible would be measuring and marking out, but that's not how I roll, so that's not happening here. This is how I basically hang anything, including paintings. I always eyeball it, and it always seems to work out okay. Sometimes a little bit imperfectly, but I'm all right with that. So let's see, where do I want these to be? I think that will do. Okay, so then one will want to go, if I'm putting stuff in, I don't want it to hit the roof too easily. Okay, let's pop it there. Can I just screw that in? Oh, yeah, I think I can. Yes. It's working. All right. Thought I might need a hammer, but I don't. It's all good. Okay, there's the first one. I suppose I should probably go into the house and get my spirit level to make sure that it is in fact horizontal. Am I going to do that though? Do we even need to ask? Okay. Just eyeball it, it's fine. It's totally fine. I just worked out that this needs to be on here so that I don't put the hooks exactly where I want those tabs to be. I think that's pretty good. I feel like that's going to be fine. Okay, definitely not level, but we're going to live with it. Da, 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 da. I did it! So you can see how it's flapping out. So it definitely needs something to hold it down there. Maybe there as well. Probably Velcro if I actually had any. I think I do have some, but it's not sticky. It's for sewing. Okay, I'm going to use my museum tape just in the interim period while I get some Velcro, and then I can swap it over. I don't know if that will be effective, probably not, but then I can put books and things in there. That will be fun. Nice. Oh, why is doing anything in the van like a flipping Olympic sport? Okay, we can do this. There we go. Finally. The good thing is, where I fall down massively on handy person know-how, I make up for it with fierce determination and stubbornness, which means it's going to happen. It's not going to be done well, but it is going to be done. Yes, in you go, my friend. There we go. Dunzo. Okay. Okay. I like it. And they're pretty even, I think, considering I did the whole thing by eye. And back the scissors. I'm fully anticipating this not really working, but it's all I've got for the time being, so we'll give it a go and see. This stuff is extremely sticky. I used it to put that in place and that is not budging, but that is on a smooth surface, so we'll see, we'll see. Well, it's stuck. Whether it will stick when stuff's held inside remains to be seen. But you're supposed to let it set, I think. So I'm just going to leave that one, do the other one, let them sit, and then I'll test them out later when they've had a bit of time to dry off. I think they look pretty. I like them. I do hope they work, but even if they don't, they still look nice, and they'll hold light things. I think it's going to be okay. I've also got these bits of rope left over now and these two hooks. I could potentially use the hooks somewhere else because they'll stick to the wood, I imagine. And then I could also maybe do something with these. I don't know what yet. If you've got any bright ideas, let me know. I think it could be fun thinking up some sort of project for these. They can just live in this little bag for now. I'll just show you a couple of other new additions to the van, which are nothing to do with being handy. You'll be relieved to hear. I got a pop-out bowl for the sink. It's quite a bit smaller than the sink, but getting one that fitted the right size was an exercise in futility. And it's got this little one as well that can go in, so that will be useful, I'm sure. And also I got this. They come in all different sizes. I've got one in the house that I use for Pops' food. I think they've discontinued them, which is such a shame. This one was quite difficult to get hold of. I had to order it to the Dunelm where my mum lives and have her go and pick it up. Anyway, I've already got one that I use for the sawdust for use with the composting loo. And that one's green, so keep them different colours so I know what's what. And then this is going to be for my actual bin, so I can just pop a bin liner in there. And it's a nice teeny tiny bin for the van. Okay, I think we're done for now. Thanks for doing this with me. To be perfectly honest, I kind of use you as accountability because I've been thinking about doing this for ages, and I had the pockets, but I just wasn't putting them in. And then I thought, you know what, if I film it, then I'll have to do it. So it's done now. Gonna let that museum tape dry off a bit, whatever it does. And then I'll come back and try putting some books in or something later and we'll see what happens. So the tape has had overnight to go off or dry or set, whatever it does. I've got a few random bits and pieces that I've pulled out from the cupboards just to test different weights and shapes and see if these will hold. I think they're fine at the top, but I don't know whether they're going to de-stick from the bottom. Okay, so I pulled out a couple of my paint palettes. I've got our little road trip book. I got the honey out because that's really heavy. I don't anticipate putting honey in it, but perhaps that will be too heavy. We'll see. I just wanted to sort of gauge what it can hold. But yeah, let's have a look. Okay, sounds all right. I mean, it's poofing out more than I kind of realised it would, but that's okay actually. Let's try the honey. Oh my god, it works! Check it out! It holds all the things! Okay, let's just see who will hold all the things. I think we're going to call that a job well done. I think that will do for the time being, and if it comes undone, I will just find a new solution for it. I've come down to the studio to check in on my paintings. I have finished 7 out of what was originally going to be 12 paintings, and I think will now be 11 because one of them I fell in love too soon and now it lives up at the house in my kitchen and I can't bring myself to add anything to it. So it may be that it's finished, but it's slightly different from the others, and that is something that happens often. There'll always be 1 or 2 outliers in a collection that want to be what I call solo paintings. So they will go off and be the introverts of my painting world and just stand alone and not be part of the collection. But the rest are coming on really well. I'm really happy with the 7 that are finished. Finishing the small ones was a lot easier for me, and I think I mentioned that in a previous video. I find it a bit annoying that that I find larger paintings so difficult, and these aren't even huge. But I've been chipping away at them and I'm quite happy with where they seem to be going. So I've come down to have a little play with them today. We'll see if I can progress them any further. This one in particular, we went through a bit of a journey together. I think it's nearly finished. It just doesn't feel like it's quite there yet. I'm not sure. I need to sit and stare at it for a while. And then these 3 need quite a bit more work. I had hoped to have the collection finished by the end of this month, but that is not going to happen because it's the last day of the month and I still have 3 paintings to complete. But I'm happy with these, and they are giving me insights into what I need to do to complete the final ones. Some days you want to paint and it just isn't there. And I know that there's a school of thought that says, oh, push on through, you can't just wait till you're inspired. But I think it's more nuanced than that. Because sure, I don't feel that inspired today, if I'm perfectly honest, but I do want to paint. I do want to move the paint around. I want to move these paintings forward. I do want to finish them. But sometimes I just have to acknowledge that it's not there today. Whatever it is, it's not there. And I can do the things to call it in and to activate it, and I know the things to do, but that doesn't mean that they're going to work every time. And that's okay, because sometimes I come to the studio and take huge leaps forward and finish paintings and whatever. And it's not just about finishing a painting, although I can't dismiss that that's a part of it, but just to get to be in process with them is enough for my soul, let's put it that way, even if it's not enough for the demands of the outside world necessarily. But then it is also a little disappointing sometimes when you want to do it, but it's just not really coming together. And, you know, full transparency, it's quite difficult to paint when you're being watched. Now, obviously, being watched in this instance is being watched by my camera. There's not actually anyone watching me, but as soon as you turn that camera on, you are being perceived. I can feel myself being perceived. And sometimes I can paint with that alongside, and sometimes I just can't. And today, it's a just can't day. And that's okay. A little frustrating. I tried a fun experiment. I don't think it's a huge mistake. I don't think I've ruined the painting. But I just know, I know the feeling. I know the feeling, and you kind of have to respect the feeling sometimes. There's a time to push on through, and there's a time to go up to the house, cuddle your dog, and eat some lunch. And that time is now. So that's what I'm going to do now. So that wasn't quite the epic studio session I was hoping for. I might come back down later this afternoon and see if I can get back into it. But we're getting there. There's 3 baby bunnies out in the garden. I don't think my phone camera is up to the challenge. 2 of them are stretched out on their stomachs. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. As soon as I open the door, they'll probably run away, but let's see. Oh, don't run away, bunnies. Where are they? They're not in the fridge, are they, love? Oh, bollocks. Oh my God, where are they? Balls. But I don't want to include this, do I? No, not really. It's that it's because oh God. And why is that moving? But since I don't have oh, do I have Velcro? Hopeless. No one can see, Tara. No! Why does this all sound so stupid?